Hello and welcome to the first episode of The Yappening. Yes, this is supposed to be a audio medium. I wanted to get this on Spotify and other streaming platforms, but that took longer than I thought. And I told you guys Monday, so here it is, Monday. Hopefully by next week I'll be able to have this on Spotify with 2 episodes. The first guest on episode 1 is Ben Malone. You might remember Ben Malone from the MrBeast hide and seek videos before they started cutting Rosanna out of him. Me and Ben also had a podcast together previously called Bops, if you want to look that up. But Ben Malone was also a writer at MrBeast who worked in the Raleigh office. Now, Jake, what did the Raleigh office do? Well, the Raleigh office, under James Warren, which comes up, their whole shtick was to generate title ideas, thumbnail ideas, and then they sent it to my team, and my team turned those into 15 minutes. But my plan was not to, milk Ben for tea. I was just talking to a friend of mine about, all the crazy stuff that's going on right now. So what happened? And for the rest of the week, okay? Wednesday, Louis C.K. video. Just Louis. And Friday, the long-awaited Baldur's Gate video, finally. And I'm streaming on Friday, regardless. Want to give a little bit of context. This episode with Ben was filmed a few weeks ago. And some of the things that happened that we do not address in this is the fact that MrBeast has been sued since then. This predates me going full Cat Williams on the main. This is before, episode 3 of Dogpack stuff. But we talk a little bit about just work culture stuff, behind-the-scenes stuff. I told Ben what he had the green light to talk about, and he just went nuts. So, order of business for the pod, I guess? Slow start. First 2-3 minutes, we're warming up. Talk about stand-up for another 5-10 minutes. Big middle chunk is MrBeast bullshit. Me and Ben talk about behind-the-scenes stuff that goes on, work culture stuff, our opinions on the YouTube industry. And then after that, we get back to talking about stand-up. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, episode 1 of The Yappening. Oh no, another podcast that you have to listen to, or a straight white man starves. I'm kidding. This is episode 1 of my podcast, The Yappening. I saw The Yappening in the comments of one of my videos, and I thought, that is gold. So if that was you who left that comment, I owe you $1, I think. This is probably going to make no money. I'm just putting it out there because I love to yap. And when you put a microphone in front of me, I put the sound in a jar, and now you can open up the lid of the jar and hear what I was yapping about. So this is episode 1. And my first guest on the very first episode of The Yappening is Ben Malone.
Hey, I never know how to.
Yeah, I wish I had a soundboard like other good podcasts. Yeah, I should have claps and stuff, but you just came out of the void of silence. Hey, hi, how's it going?
I'm also just staring into the woods. I don't know. I'm on my back porch. I'm not greeting anybody.
I like the idea of you in your woods by yourself, just on the podcast. All right, here to record.
Dude, I got a friend with one of those trees with the outlets in them.
Wait, say it again? Oh, that's so I thought you were dead ass.
No.
I was like, wait, what? I'm so gullible. That's not nice, dude.
It's one of them new trees they got going on.
No, I was at a party for 4th of July, and I've seen this person twice. Her name was Elizabeth, and I'm bad with names, I'm bad with faces, but I saw her walking the same direction I was, and I said in my head, oh my god, that's Elizabeth, it has to be. And then I went up to her, and I was like, hey. I said, Elizabeth. She goes, no. And I go, oh. And she goes, gotcha, no. You don't know my name? I go, I thought it was you. Why would you just lie to me? Making me socially anxious for no goddamn reason.
But, man, yeah, you really don't know anybody's name. I just found out, after being friends with you for about 8 years now, that you don't know how to spell my name, first or last.
Yeah, actually, yeah, you're right. First or last, yeah. Well, Ben, I'm going to say you don't know how to spell your first name. You spell your name Ben
to be fair,
that's wrong. That's wrong?
I could be wrong. I could be wrong. There's multiple spellings. I did Google it once you brought it up. I was like, okay, it is a viable spelling. It's just not how I do it.
Yeah, you did your own research and did some confirmation bias? Yeah, sounds like you. Yeah, you're going to tell me vaccines are bad too, huh? I Googled it.
I literally, I think I tweeted that exact same, that verbatim 2 years ago, where it's like, what? I Googled the vaccine was bad and you wouldn't believe what I found out.
Guys, have you Googled exactly what you thought? Whew. You're going to get some results. Yeah, no. So one of the things I wanted to get you on the podcast for was I wanted to apologize for not helping us get more tour dates, and I wanted to do that publicly in front of the tens of people that will listen to this.
Oh, no problem. I think it. I don't know how much we can actually get tour dates. So like, I don't know.
That's good.
We got
That's good. Let's discuss on the pod. Let's
six.
go.
We got six so far. We're looking to add more. Um, if you know anyone who
I
owns
said
a comedy
somebody.
club,
I think it was either in the comments or my Patreon. Somebody said there's a lot of comedy clubs in Savannah, and we're going to Atlanta. Is that going to be close, or do we have nothing planned in Atlanta?
We can go to Savannah. Nice little pocket of blue in a red state.
Those are the best. That's where all the comedy clubs are.
Oh yeah.
They keep the
You
comedy
go to
clubs in
Savannah.
the blue pockets. I think a lot of YouTubers who then do stand up, they feel like really really famous open micers, and then you see like comedians who do YouTube, And I don't know. I saw Gus Johnson live, and that was before all the shit went down. Guys, relax. But the show was cool, but it felt like a him doing some of his songs, some traditional stand up that was cool to see if you're like a fan of him. But if I was just at a bar, and this isn't the shit on Gus Johnson or anything, but it's just like YouTubers who, instead of doing 10 years of open mics, they get famous and start doing theaters, and that's their open mic,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they get all the time in the world to just kind of try stuff out. Like most people starting out, you're doing it 3 minutes at a time, but they're thrusting these YouTubers into live performances where they have to throw shit at a wall for 45 minutes straight. And I mean, they either really sink or swim. I think really that's what it comes down to. And some of them are doing a good job.
No, yeah, I really like Curtis Connor. I haven't seen his new special that just dropped, but I like his vibe in his videos, and I like the clips that I've seen, but I haven't seen anything full length. But I do think it's like a double-edged sword when because I also think Curtis was probably doing stand-up before he blew up, but it's like, yeah, you get like a lot more time, like you get like 45 minutes, but at the same time, it's not like an audience of people who are predisposed to hate you. It's like, because you're at an open mic, it's like six fuckheads at a bar who are like, get off, stop.
Oh, yeah.
But like, you get 45 minutes, which is great, but it's like an audience that's not going to tell you if you suck. So
that is
it's
true.
like a double-edged sword, I guess.
They are there to see you. They've probably already bought some of your merch. Like,
oh yeah,
they're super excited, and you get so much more leeway to, I don't know, I think just be yourself.
Which is also good, Like I said, pros.
Yeah, which is also good.
But yeah, no, I'm just excited too. I haven't been able to do a lot of stand-up lately, because it's been a wild couple weeks. I gotta tell you, a month ago, I didn't think any of this was gonna happen.
Oh man, I remember when. I guess we'll like talk about it pretty openly when the whole news with Ava Tyson was coming out, and I texted you because I hadn't seen that happening in real time. I was like 2 days late, and by that time you were already like maybe thinking of saying something.
Well, it wasn't until Dogpack released his thing, and then it was a while after that thing released. Like by the time I made the decision to try to get involved in that and talk publicly, it was like 7 days later the video was up. Like that's how fast shit happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and it wasn't like until like when the Ava Tyson stuff first started. Like, I saw, like, the allegations loosely. Like, when you see, like, the title of a news article and you go, oh, okay, sure. But then it wasn't until, like, YouTubers started, like, looking. Apparently, the chats themselves leaked. And I was looking through them. And I was like, this is some vile shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to go through those as well. It's pretty dark.
Yeah. And just,
I would say,
the possibility that Jimmy was. Yeah, it's not confirmed or denied yet. Some people are saying he is. Some people are saying he isn't. But I was just like, well, that's pretty serious.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how much I want to, like, say on it in the sense that, like,
Oh, ask me what you think you can say. I've talked to lawyers. I'll tell you if you can say it or not. I've talked to, like, 4 or 5 lawyers. Yeah.
I mean, it is baseline. He seems like an enabler for these sorts of things. At its baseline, you can't say whether or not.
Ben, is that an opinion? Because opinions are legal.
Ooh, okay, then great. Yeah, he's an enabler.
There you go. That's an opinion by Ben Malone. It's an opinion. All right.
And surrounded, he as an enabler is surrounded by multitudes of other enablers.
Well, I mean, I heard someone talk about this because I haven't followed. This is the most I followed Beast stuff like since I left. After I left, I didn't follow much. Then when it started getting spicy, I was like, oh no, are my friends in trouble? And then somebody said that he said on a podcast about like the Beast Burger thing. He was like, everyone who told me Beast Burger was a bad idea, I got them out of my circle. And then the podcaster was like, oh, so you have a bunch of yes men? And he goes, what? No.
Oh gosh.
So I mean,
backtrack real quick. That's exactly what.
Well, no. People who give me pushback, I have them on my team all the time. I value their opinions.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. No, that's all he wanted. That's why James Warren was his number 2.
I saw a YouTuber because he's like the secret CEO, which is wild. But like what's her? I think her name is like the surprise witness. Did an investigation. I'm not going to say what's in that video because I don't want to steal her valor. But that was a good video to watch because there was a bunch of stuff in there I had no idea about because she was doing like some investigative journalism and I was just going to open mics. And again, it's her video, so the claims that she's making, she's the one making them. But it's an entertaining watch if you got time. The surprise witness, the video about James Warren.
Ooh, I'm definitely going to be checking that one out.
It's long if you got
James
time.
Warren on everything the second I left MrBeast.
Oh, that's interesting. You probably had more contact with him because you were on the Raleigh team, yeah?
Yeah, I had a lot of contact with him.
Woof. Well, now that you said that, protect your DMs. They're gonna get flooded.
I'm all right. I don't care. Someone engage with me. I'm bored.
I got Keemstar in my Discord DMs.
Oh, that's weird. That's a weird guy.
I know, that's really weird. Yeah, well, I saw him make a video. It wasn't like a drama alert. I've never watched a Keemstar video in my life. But he did like a short where he's just like talking to his phone. So I don't know if that's how he does his shit, but it seemed kind of low effort. But he called me a clout chaser and called me Jake Weddle a bunch of times, which was funny. But then
great.
He tried to reach out to get me on his pod. And I was like, I don't know, man. Like, I saw your coverage of me. And like the solitary stuff was like genuinely pretty traumatic. So like I don't want to be glazed, but I don't want to be dogpiled either. So I'm gonna be honest, I'm iffy. I didn't say yes or no. I said I'm iffy, and then he didn't respond. So
he's the cloud chaser. His whole thing is cloud chasing. It's just
like drama channel. It's what it is.
Yeah, his whole clout is just talking about people with clout, and he's just as weird as those guys too. They're all weird.
Yeah, rich and successful people that live in a bubble. They have the ability to get weird,
Do you think this is going to change anything with YouTube?
I hope it does, man. I mean, like I said, I'm talking to Dogpack, and Dogpack's pretty laser focused on his stuff, which is good. But I've also been talking to Rosanna, and she's lovely. I love her so much. But yeah, it seems like there is an optimistic vibe if, the right things happen. And the right things are just accountability. The right things are just making sure everyone's safe and making sure everyone's protected. And if people are profiting, hugely off of, recklessness and unsafe, environments and, things that are illegal, we probably shouldn't, YouTube probably shouldn't let people profit off of that kind of stuff, no matter how much money it makes,
Yeah, but it seems like it's not even just MrBeast. I mean, David
no,
Dobrik
not
was
even.
the
Like,
same way,
David Dobrik, exactly.
It's like, it's almost so integrated into the culture of these YouTube channels, just like this, like recklessness and like the need to, and then the willingness to just do anything to get a good video is absolutely insane. And it's like
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I was about to say, I think it's really interesting because I think YouTube is actually in a very similar place as to college football.
Oh, okay, go ahead. I'm gonna miss this metaphor, but go on.
Sorry, college football was like an amateur sport, but the revenue that was generated by the players grew to be so big, and now, the definition between like what is an amateur and what is a professional, like those lines were blurred and the amateurs were
Yeah.
making just as much money as the professionals.
Yeah.
But the amateurs don't have the same stipulations and rules that the professionals have to work under, and it creates like a really problematic environment, where a lot of people are losing at the bottom of it, where they are doing the labor and they're doing the hard work, the stuff that actually brings in the money, and then some dude's just slapping his face on it and, you know, cashing the checks.
That's such
And
a. I thought I was gonna miss that metaphor, but no, you hit the nail on the head. That was perfect.
but I don't think anyone's really talking about it at like it almost feels like it has to be talked about at an almost government level,
Yeah. Yeah.
where like they have to force, because YouTube almost has, I would say, almost a monopoly when it comes to like a
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna move
video
over to
sharing
Vimeo. Yeah.
service.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You have no other options when it comes to sharing long form video.
Yeah.
And at the moment, like, there is no rules for these channels like MrBeast, for David Dobrik, for Preston, or Yes Theory, or I'm just trying to like, name big channels. Yeah, Dude Perfect. Like, there's no rules that they have to follow for their productions.
They probably have to
And
follow like regular like business stuff. Like they probably have to do like financial stuff, LLC stuff. Like that's all like if you're a business, whatever. But like as far as production
mhm.
goes, I think you're absolutely right, and I think that's why this Amazon thing is crazy because Amazon was like, yeah, the Beast Crew they do this all the time, they can handle it, and they've had the reins to do this big crazy production. And you can see that it is like it's a YouTuber. You know, I have a friend who works in an agency. I keep calling him my not agent because he sends me stuff once in a blue moon that I audition for and don't get. I love my not agent, but uh, uh, he tells me he goes there's this Amazon thing and the David Dobrik stuff, and just every single time YouTubers try to break out of the YouTube bubble, things go horribly horribly wrong, and it's really really
Mm.
unprofessional. It's really really unsafe, and so this is probably going to be a moment where companies outside of YouTube, you know, your Netflix, your Amazon, your Walmart, you know, they're not going to want to do deals with YouTubers because the precedent is set that they do things way too fast, way too loose, and it's dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely. And it doesn't sound like that there's any wind behind the sails of trying to get that stuff to change. Like, no one's, the
People are going to lose money.
conversations,
Yeah, no one wants to lose
yeah,
money.
the conversation is kind of really started bubbling with, this Mr. B stuff, and it kind of bubbled before a little bit with David Dobrik, but now there's too much precedent to ignore,
Hmm.
and nothing's really changing, and people are gonna, someone's gonna die. I
Yeah, I
think,
mean, people almost
people
did.
have died.
Who
I'm
who
sure
died
there's
besides the guy in
stories.
the Suicide Forest that Logan Paul watched? Who else?
Well, I think that wasn't a real guy, but
What? That
uh,
wasn't a guy?
I don't think that was a real guy.
Did Logan
I
Paul
think it was a
fake the
fake.
Suicide Forest thing?
I think they faked it, which is, I don't know if that's worse. But
Yeah, what the hell? No, here, let me because one of the things that I made a point of in one of my last videos, and
mhm.
it is weird because I felt like I was the only one, because what you're saying, Ben, is what I have been not saying, you know, for the past, I've been thinking it in my head privately and disgruntled. I've been going, God
Yeah.
damn, fucking son of a bitch. But like it's like the regular, you know, legacy media streaming, you know, like they have unions for special effects, they have unions for stunts, they have unions for writers, and they're the people who make sure that everyone's getting paid what they should be paid. And when you don't have those things in place for YouTube, it's literally like the Wild West. You know, it's like, but the people who are making all the money, people at the top, you know, the producers, they're not going to want to implement those things because all it would do for the sake of safety and making sure everybody working on a project is making enough money to live, the people at the top are going to start losing money. And the people at the top who's going to start losing money, they are the ones who set the rule. Why would they change the rules to not benefit them unless enough people are outraged by it? And right
Mhm.
now, it's like, let's see how much outrage that we can get until things change. And it feels like with the Beast situation, this would can't like a fraction of this stuff would cancel anybody else. But the reason I think there hasn't been a lot of action taken is because A, there hasn't really been enough litigation happening
Mhm.
from both sides, might I add, and I have theories about that. But
Yeah.
uh, I think, you know, YouTube has hitched their wagon to the moneymakers, and the money makers, they're the money makers because they're the ones doing things fast and loose, reckless and dangerous. So YouTube has kind of, they're like, oh yeah, this is going to be the cash cow. And then, they didn't look under the cash cow to see all of the dead bodies, for lack of a better term.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's no, doesn't seem like they demonetize people, but in terms of deplatforming, I don't think that really happens. They still allow people to post whatever they want, and some pretty awful stuff ends up on YouTube. They just don't do anything about it.
Well, I had my video. I've had some stuff with limited monetization because of, like, I've just said words that advertisers don't like, and that's what made me get limited monetization. And I, that's fine. I talked to my editor. We're gonna start using bleeps, whatever. But like, if that reduces my monetization, like, what's it gonna take for like actual real life consequences to limit someone's monetization?
Yeah, absolutely. And the way that it's all just marketed towards children as well. I mean, you got people running straight up crypto scams directed to kids, and that's not again. All of this stuff is like MrBeast, maybe did it. A lot of YouTubers
Logan Paul is in a lot of trouble
definitely
for
did
some
it.
crypto stuff.
Oh yeah, a lot of them are. Again, this stuff is rampant, and the behavior hasn't really been policed at all. I don't know if it should be, but I mean, it's creating some pretty toxic work environments, and I don't know if YouTube is going to be able to say that they're completely innocent at the end of the day.
Well, YouTube has like successfully been able to be like, oh, that's not us. We're just the hosting platform. That's them. You know what I mean? But YouTube like partners with these people. Like YouTube, is hosting these people. So they can't like separate themselves by saying they're not a part of all this. Like, if anything, the way that they've propped up a lot of these, quote unquote, reckless cash cows, YouTube is responsible. YouTube should be stepping in. And the fact that they're not just means they're either hoping it blows over or hoping they can keep their cash cows, or, it's usually a money situation, and they're always listening to the advertisers, and the advertisers care about numbers, and the audience, they're caring about being entertained. No one's really caring about what's ethical.
Yeah. Do you think people were really hoping this episode would be funny?
Oh, we can switch gears. We started talking about stand-up. I'm sorry.
I was like, oh, I don't know. I was like, I got very limited interaction with the whole YouTube world. I wrote 2 years on the side at MrBeast. I was just doing my own thing. I know everything that happened. I'm very aware of it.
Ben, you're a side character. You're like, yeah, I saw all of that from Raleigh. It was crazy.
Oh, yeah, I was just like an extra in the background for all of it. I was like, whoa, really?
You're so good at hide and seek, Ben. You're so good at hiding. So good at hiding in the background.
Those were fun.
I had a great time on those, not going to lie. I hated that I wasn't in the third one.
I forget that you weren't in the third one. I thought, in my head, you were there. I don't know why you weren't there.
I don't know. That's when things started to get weird, when they started to not let me be on camera, which is whatever.
Yeah. I was, I think I was only on camera as long as I was going to keep winning hide and seek. As long as I kept winning hide and seek, they had to keep me in the videos because I was the champion. The second I didn't win, I wasn't in any more videos.
Well, did you play in the third one? I thought they brought you on as like a hide and seek champion, as like a consultant. Or did you play in the third one?
I played in the third one. I got out maybe third.
Oh, man.
So like 7th overall. I got caught because they put an alarm clock in my backpack. And
hilarious.
It went off. Yeah, went off in the middle of the game. They caught me.
I remember when we wrote that bit in the writer's room. Sorry about that, Ben.
God damn it, Jake. It cost me $75,000. That bit is the most expensive joke that you have ever written.
Oh, that's not true. I wrote the Bouncy Castle video.
Oh, that's true. Scrapped down the drain.
Yeah, no, Jimmy made a video about it, how cringy it was. Oh, I got to make a video about the long-lost Bouncy Castle video.
It was a little cringy.
Well, I did the best with the premise. I didn't come up with the premise.
I know it wasn't your idea. I came up with the premise, probably.
Oh, that's so funny. That's so. Oh, I didn't know that. I'm so sorry. That's so funny.
No, I'm just joking. I don't think the idea room came up with that.
Oh, okay. I believed you wholeheartedly. You see?
I remember, man, some of the early ideas that they didn't use, and Jimmy just tweeted a few of them out, and I got so pissed because I was like,
Oh no.
if you're not going to use them, I want to use them. Like, I pitched one idea where it's like we made the world's biggest beach blanket. Because, like, if you know, when you go to the beach, you know, wherever you put your towel down, that's your spot. So if you
Are you on Shark Tank right now? I'm picturing it to me like
if
you're on
you-
Shark Tank.
if you have the biggest thing, you could have the biggest spot. You could have a huge spot, all that room to yourself. All these people wouldn't be up on you. It's a great idea.
Honey, you brought the biggest beach towel. We have to go. We can't sit here.
What are some people going to tell you? Like, oh, can you move your? I'm sorry. It's like, look, what do you want? I put my towel down. I was here first. Like that's how.
So
Those are
funny.
the rules. I don't. Have you ever heard of
And then,
any
and
other
then they
rules?
would send that to the writers' room, and it was our job to make that 15 fucking minutes.
Do you think you can make that 15 minutes?
No.
Come on. I mean, okay. Well, first of all, we could if they wanted to, but they didn't want to show that they like if they showed us making the beach blanket, the construction of the beach blanket, but they would just cut ahead to when we already had the beach blanket. And then
So we would do this like we would do those the world's biggest like a cheeseburger video and or like the world's biggest pizza, and those were a struggle to make long too. I think one of them came out to be like 6 minutes just because we had to upload something.
6 minutes.
Yeah,
I
I know. Isn't that wild?
About that.
Oh, they sure were. I mean,
They must-
there wasn't like they had like one of those
Someone
ears
got
on,
someone got
something
fired
chestnut.
that week. I bet.
Oh, someone got fired every week.
Yeah, that's true. That's also a lot of turnover. And they're
High turnover,
surprised
buddy.
that a lot of people know about what they did.
Yeah, I forget who I was talking to about that, but like they hire a lot of people who they have for a couple of months, who they treat the same way they treat everybody else, and then they're like, "Why is everyone upset? Who's an ex-employee?" It's like, well, fucking.
You showed everybody. Like hundreds
When I was talking to
of people.
Dogpack, I asked him point blank. I was like, "Was your plan to like infiltrate and like do like a secret takedown?" He was like, "No, I was a fan. I wanted to work there."
Gosh, that's what they do. They get everybody that way. I'm glad I didn't start as a fan, or else I would have been severely disappointed. I didn't even know who MrBeast was when I started.
Yeah, me neither. I don't know who anybody is before I start working for him.
I just kind of pretended. Oh, I'm subscribed. Yeah, for sure. I love MrBeast, Chambler, and
Oh yeah, Jake the Pillager. What's his name? Fucking.
Jake the Pilgrim. I think.
Yeah, I love Carl with a C. He's great. What was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought. I have not been able to get my ADHD medication. What was it?
It's tough. There's a shortage.
Oh, let me tell you
All
what
the
happened. Literally yesterday. This is what I was dealing with when I had to postpone. So I met with my my psych who gave me the prescription and is supposed to send my prescription to a place that I can get it. And I wasn't. They sent it to the place I was supposed to get it, and the place I was supposed to get it, my friend's been going there for years, and they've always had it for him. So I thought, here we go. I'll send it here, and then I get there and they don't have it either. So I didn't get it. And I tried to send it to other places, and they couldn't get it either. So I was supposed to have another meeting. I was going to try, hey, can I try Vyvanse instead? Is that easier to get a hold of? But I didn't do an intake form because I didn't get my stuff. I was supposed to do a form about how the stuff is doing, but I didn't get it. So I didn't do the form. So because I didn't do the form, they canceled my appointment but charged me anyway. So I think that's their business model. I think those like telehealth places, they just cancel your appointment and take your money.
Was that wasn't BetterHelp, was it?
No. I don't use BetterHelp anymore. Everyone was clowning on me for it, but I found a therapist I like, and I got up BetterHelp.
I feel like I wrote you a joke about BetterHelp, and I don't remember what it was, but we can talk about that later.
Well, it wasn't even I don't tell like a joke. I tell this to everybody who was like, "Oh, you're on BetterHelp," and I said this in my video. It's like Uber. Yeah, you can get a bad Uber driver. Doesn't mean you have to keep using that Uber. You can get another driver.
Look, it's like I needed help now.
I couldn't afford it.
That was the thing.
I couldn't afford better than BetterHelp.
If I wanted to wait, I would gladly make an appointment. I need help immediately.
For the low price,
BetterHelp.
I saw a therapist 4 times a month, and I desperately needed it, and she was good. And so she didn't like BetterHelp either. You know how I know I had a good therapist? She also didn't like BetterHelp. So she left BetterHelp, but I continued to stay with her.
Ooh, that's a good therapist.
Oh yeah, she's
Was
good.
it
I don't know if I
Julie?
should say her name. Oh, fuck you. Oh, damn. I didn't know if I should say her name or not. Yeah, no last name. Shout out Julie.
Shout out Julie. Yeah, no one's gonna dox your therapist. I don't know what they would get out of that.
Apparently, her kids are fans. So, but because of confidentiality,
Oh.
she can't tell them that she's my therapist.
Oh.
So they'll be like, oh my god, Jake
tell them
Weddle's
that
doing blah blah blah.
you're just really great friends, and that she knows a lot about the inner workings of your life?
Yeah, no, I met him. Boy, is he an open book.
You are though. You would get the same out of you if you just met you on the street. You would if you like. Honestly, I don't know.
I'm a trauma bonder.
Why
I'm a trauma bonder.
Yeah. For Julie's sake, I mean, she should probably talk to someone else who knows you. Just
Yeah, my trauma is so bad. Okay, let me tell you, this is a scoop for the pod. When I started going to my therapist after solitary, I swear on my life, I told my therapist everything that happened, and she goes, Jake, I have patients with PTSD who have not been through as much.
Dude, I very much hate for you how many people do not believe that happened to you.
Well, people believe that it happened, or the problem is I've been getting a lot of messages, and at first it was a lot of love, which was really, really nice, because I thought it was going to be like the opposite. I did not go into this thinking I was going to jumpstart my fucking career. I went into this thinking I have nothing to lose, so I should talk while everybody else is, you know? So this is a really positive outcome that I was not expecting. But now that the love, it's still here, but the hate comments have begun to trickle in. And the thing that bothers me is I've never left like a hate comment unless someone was actively attacking me, because like I just can't imagine seeing something on the internet and having like nothing in your life going on, and that you feel the need to comment something that puts somebody else down. You know what I mean? Like it not even like,
yeah.
I don't want to compare because it's very, very different. But like, people who attack
I actually,
like rape survivors or whatever, they'll get a lot of hate because men are evil and awful. But like for me, it's like they saw me crying on the internet because money was dangled in front of me, and so I ran on a treadmill for like 8, 9, 10 hours, and they're like, "You're a pussy. You got paid." And it's like, I would never want to meet you in like the street, because I'd be like, "Oof, you're a bad person."
Yeah. No, I had someone reach out to me and was like, "You need to watch out for Jake."
Oh, really?
And I was like, "Yeah," because they
That's
knew
so
that
funny.
Like, me and you are really tight.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Why?" And they're like, "Because he got paid all that money, and he still threw Jimmy under the bus. He would do the same to you." And it's like, what would he throw me under the bus for?
But Ben, you've done nothing to be thrown under the bus. You see, people.
Exactly.
This is what I realize. People think getting paid absolves people of guilt. They're telling on themselves. They go, "What? Jimmy can't be a bad guy. He gave you money." And it's like, "Oh, you're stupid. You're a stupid person."
Yeah.
That's okay. Ben, if you gave me $100,000 and then were a piece of shit to me, I'd tell people regardless of the money. I wouldn't go, "Oh, well, he gave me all this money." I think that's what a bad person would do. A bad person. And the only reason why I was so quiet for so long was because I was worried about my friends' careers. I didn't want my friends who still work there to be in hot water, because I care about my friends. But I never gave a shit about money, and that's why I asked for less, because I was trying to prove a point. I don't care about money.
Not to mention, I mean, it's pretty well documented that people who have come out against MrBeast in the last few years definitely just got shouted down by his army of children.
That's what I was afraid of.
Followers, and they just didn't listen. They just disregarded everything that was said.
We all owe Turner an apology.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of apologies. Whoever those 27 people were in that New York Times article like a few years ago, like,
oh my God,
each and every one of them deserves an apology, because like they were just shouted down. The only one of the reasons that you were able to come out now is because like now people were actually willing to listen. Like that veil had been lifted, and people could kind of see through the bullshit.
I literally thought if Dogpack could do what he was doing and not get into like the legal stuff. I mean, he was sent to cease and desist, but as of this moment, actual legal, like a cease and desist, you can just send, but that's like step one. They haven't done step two, which is the serious stuff. And so I thought to myself, if Dogpack can confidently do what he's doing, what's stopping me? Because before no one was doing like that. and he was an employee sooner than I, like more recently. So he probably had more stringent paperwork. I was, the paperwork I signed was
I can
probably a lot more
imagine.
loosey goosey.
Oh, I still have my contract. It was like 2 pages. It was on a clearly typed up on Word, like
That's
no
so funny.
like legal heading or any sort of like MrBeast specific stationery. Like uh, terrible. They had me pass out NDAs to people. I got people to sign NDAs, and
Did you have
then
to source the NDAs yourself?
I would just like they would send me the file, and I'd
Oh,
have the employees that we had on the writing team
yeah,
come in and sign them.
yeah, yeah.
But then like James Warren would never ever come in and actually take the contracts. So I have about like somewhere in my house, I probably have about 10 to 12
Rip
NDAs
them
that
up,
never got
rip
filed
them up, Ben, rip them up.
anywhere.
Find them and rip them up.
I think I have
Let
Grant
Pizza Mike
Janix
talk.
somewhere.
Let Pizza Mike talk, Ben.
I don't think I have Pizza Mike's, unfortunately.
Oh no, yeah, you got that under lock and key. You know you do. You want him to shut the fuck up.
Well, he was one of the first one when James Warren was actually still like paying attention to us.
Yeah. Before we forgot about you guys.
We were left on an island. The last like 8 months of my job there, we had no communication from
Hilarious.
anyone in Greenville. No one would talk to us. We were like, "Hey, like, you need ideas this week?" And they're like, "Yeah." And then I wouldn't send them, and then they would never follow up.
That's so funny.
They never ask for anything.
Were they on like a spreadsheet? I think I remember seeing the spreadsheet of ideas one
Oh, the
time
master
going into
spreadsheet.
somebody's office.
What a fucking mess that was. They had they made us put all of our ideas, no matter how stupid they were, in there. And so it had all of like our other friends, who's a great comedian, Aaron Ransom, who was
Oh, I
a
love
writer.
Aaron. Yeah.
And he would have ideas like, I downloaded my brain onto a crystal, or, or I built a car that ran on Netflix. Like, and then one time we sat in that writer's room, and then he just tried to he tried to create a viral video title with the word "uwu," and then he just and he's like, I said "uwu" 100,000 times in a row, and he's like, I "uwu'd" all the way home, like I.
It's so funny because you're doing the Aaron voice too. I can hear it so. Ooh-wooed all the way home.
I ooh-wooed, and then
I downloaded
and he-
ooh-woo from a crystal into my consciousness.
Meanwhile, he's just writing "uwu" 150 times over and over again on a whiteboard in the middle
That's
of
so
this
funny.
co-working space that we did not belong in. We're like surrounded by people trying to like get their companies off the ground, and we're just like, God, how many balls can we fit in a in a house? How many bouncy balls can we fit in a house before it completely just falls apart?
I don't know, man. Yeah, good.
Did that video ever come out? That one
Which
slime
one?
video where they
Oh yeah, I was in it.
They destroyed a house, didn't they?
That was the last
One of
video
the
I think I
houses-
was in before as an employee. Because
it
I was
was
on
s-
Mr. Bro sometimes. I don't know if that's still up.
Mhm.
But yeah.
Oh, I wonder if that is. Yeah, they severely damaged a house with slime.
Well, I think it was a house they owned. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's still wasteful.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Could have gave it to someone. They're just like, let's,
Yeah.
let's
Yeah, I
flood
don't
the
know
downstairs with
logistics
slime.
behind all that. I mean, it's funny because like you don't want to say like it's so funny because you'll say something that like is negative, and then somebody over there will be like, actually, and then they'll maybe give some corrections, but the corrections are never like correcting the big damning thing. Like it's really funny that like Chucky was like, that raccoon was not a paid actor, and it's like, okay, what about the other things? You know, like when Jake the Viking was talking about the Delaware situation or the mountain situation. Both times he had teeny tiny nitpicks about my stuff, but didn't like say the major points were incorrect.
Yeah,
So yeah,
you're not addressing the big picture here. I always thought it was funny how much those guys thought of themselves.
Oh God, yeah.
Like Chucky and Jake the Viking and those types of guys, as if any of the like brain rot YouTube bullshit that they do is difficult to any degree.
Well,
Like
they're like
I would
hacking
be
the brain. You know, they're doing like the
yeah.
ADHD like retention stuff, and it's like yeah, it's like it's a skill. Like they're good at their jobs, but like they're not gods and geniuses. Like they have the same like Jimmy looks up to what's his name Apple Steve Jobs. He looks
hmm
up to Steve Jobs and he looks up to Elon Musk. I don't know
Tim
if he still looks
Apple.
up to Elon Musk. Oh yeah, Mr. Apple. But like he look I want to do a video about this very specific Bill Burr bit. Bill Burr has this great bit about Steve Jobs, and it totally encapsulates like the whole like tech bro vibe, where it's like move fast, break stuff, you know, like that, like the godlike self importance. And oh God, I'm gonna
hmm
butcher the bit, but Bill Burr has this. What did he do? You know what did he just was a guy that told other people to invent stuff. You know, he's walking around with some pretentious pear. You know,
hmm
he's eating it. He goes, you know, I was reading a book the other day and the pages were turning. I want to see that on the screen.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
I've always thought that. I mean, Mr. Beast. I never thought of him as a content creator. I never thought of him as a creative. I thought of him as someone who could bankroll projects. He
Yeah,
was a terrible host for his own channel. We would watch him butcher his openings 15 times over
that's
and
so
over. And
funny,
just
Ben. I
welcome,
told you opinions were
welcome,
legal, and you're
welcome,
going nuts.
welcome.
That's so funny.
I don't care. It's just so annoying. We'd be
That's so
sitting
funny.
there fake smiling for 25 minutes where it goes like, we're in a city. Or it's like, no, that's stupid. We're in an abandoned city, dumb. He's like, we're in an abandoned town, idiot. Like, and just over and over and over again.
That's so
God, I
funny.
remember we were in a pitch meeting and I was just fucking bullshitting and I just spitballed. I was like, "Oh, don't blink and win $50,000." And then Tyler Conklin was like, "That's fire." That's yeah.
Dude, that's what I
Yeah.
said in my video. I was like, you know, like the they got the vape in their hand. Like, oh, dude, that's a banger. Oh, dude, that's a banger, dude. Like that energy
And
is. Oh, I hate it so much.
I rolled my eyes so fucking hard cuz it's like this stuff is just so dumb. Like just steal the jewel, win 100 grand, and they would be like, "You're a god. Thank you.
That's so
Like you're
funny.
one. You're an A guy. You're one of our A guys."
Dude, I saw that because I know in my dog pack thing, I was talking about like the two groups of people if Jimmy liked you or didn't like you, and then in their
hmm
document where it said you're an A guy, a B guy, or a C guy. Oh, there's three groups. My fault. I just said there was two, and I'm an idiot and an asshole. But your internal document says there's three. Gotcha. Okay, no worries.
No, I was an A guy. I was in there. I was in James Warren's little inner circle.
That's
I was
so
in there,
funny.
brother. And you know why? Because of ideas like "Don't blink, win $50,000." They respected me. That's why.
I don't think I've said
Because
this
I knew my
publicly yet.
shit.
I want to tell you this. I'm sure I've told you this before, but it's so funny. You're in the A team because you're pitching like dumbass bullshit you think is stupid that you know they love. Meanwhile, I'm on the phone with Jimmy. I swear to God, this is a real conversation I had where he's going over the stuff we wrote, the scripts, the pitches, you know, the story flow. He's going over the stuff we wrote. He's on the phone. He goes, "You guys write a lot of jokes." We were like,
Yeah,
"Yeah,
yeah.
you hired a bunch of comedians." We were like, "Can you write less jokes and more stuff that's just like just inherently funny?" And I'm like, "What? What are you? Huh?" And he's like slipping on a banana peel, you know, like you don't have to think about it. It's just like it's funny when you. And I'm like, "Oh, it's like it's just jingling keys." It's like, is your audience
Yeah.
babies?
It is a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
They they do want to pander to the dumbest people. When I
Well,
was
it's the widest audience. It's
initial
pop music. You know, it's like we cast the biggest net
Mhm.
by being the least offensive. We don't want to say anything that's even a little thought provoking because somebody would be like, I don't like that," and turn it off.
when I first started, when James Warren approached me to lead the writing team in Raleigh, he told me that he wanted he's like, we're just get a bunch of writers to just like bullshit a bunch of ideas, just get it all out on paper, just get a whole bunch of idiots with nothing going on to just do nothing, and we'll just like, and I was like, can I just get my friends? He's like, that works too.
Perfect. Perfect. That's perfect. Yes, all your
He was
friends,
like,
your close friends who you love dearly. That's exactly who we want.
I was like, He genuinely just wanted like idiots and like burnouts and people with nothing going on, and just wanted to exploit them for their ideas and pay them $15 an hour. I don't know if I can say that.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. Okay, here's what's legal. After everything I've talked to you about lawyers, opinions are fine, especially if it's just your speculation. Things that are true, like they absolutely happened, like they can't like sue you for defamation if what you're saying is accurate. And then there's like company secret stuff. So maybe since you said $15 an hour, but I don't know. That's a lot of litigation for that.
I don't know. I don't know if that's a. I don't know. Yeah, but they started out $15 an hour, and when I wrote,
Anyway, I'll keep going.
yeah, I don't give a fuck. When I wrote that, surprising my girlfriend with $100,000 or 100,000 roses on Valentine's Day,
Yeah.
and that went viral, got 50 million views, was picked up on like Yahoo and a bunch of news people, writing articles about it, and I got a cool $50 bonus for writing that idea.
Love that.
Yeah.
Hey, Ben,
Yep.
we got you a gift card to TGI Fridays. Thanks for being a good employee, Ben.
I'm gonna get some cheddar biscuits.
Hey, you earned those. You earned
I
those,
think
okay?
that's Red Lobster, actually. Fuck, damn it.
Fuck, damn it, you ruined the bit.
Gonna have to.
You know what's
get
funny?
jalapeno
My
poppers?
girlfriend and our new roommate, who's my girlfriend's friend from back home, they went to like go like thrifting or whatever, and I texted her like, "Hey, you guys having fun? Where you guys at?" They went all the way to Times Square and went to the Times
Why?
Square Olive Garden,
Why? Oh.
like for the meme.
I love that. I mean, do you have to? I feel like you have to pay for the breadsticks at the Times Square Olive Garden.
Rebecca, do you have to pay for the Times Square breadsticks at the Olive Garden? Nope.
No, wow. That's a mistake on their part, because they could really charge the shit out of that. These
What?
are Times
They're
Square
losing money.
breadsticks.
Money on the table. Losing money.
Yeah, Jesus. What are you doing? Print an ad on it. They got ads everywhere else.
Yeah, use like a toaster to print an ad on the bread.
They could do it. We got the technology. I don't know.
We
why
have
not
the technology.
doing
Yeah. Capitalism breeds innovation, and that's the innovation.
it. It's the only innovation is breeds is just like, where can we put ads?
Dude, I don't think I've ever done this bit. I think I wrote it down and never did it. But the ad I hate the most. Oh, there's two kinds of ads I hate the most. And it's the ads that like you're forced to look at. Like there's the ad that like starts playing when you start pumping your gas. Like I start pumping my gas, and then behind me, here's what's happening this week. I go, oh fuck, god damn, and I'm not gonna leave. I'm pumping my gas. That one's not as bad as this. Yeah, good.
You can mute those.
Can you?
There's a button. If you press the one of them, I don't know if it's the same at every gas station. Just keep pressing buttons. It'll stop.
Ben's over
I
here
know that
punching
doesn't sound like-
screens at a gas station. There you go.
I was just leaving a wake of destruction in my path every 380 miles.
All right, well, tell me if there's a way to get out of this next one. I've seen this at a couple of places. You're at the urinal, and they put an ad at eye level. Son of a bitch. I can't. Like, I have to. Like, I'm at my most vulnerable. My pants are around my ankles, and I'm over here like, oh, Wicked's in town?
I'm honestly, like, I prefer that, because otherwise, like, I'm, like, just going to be, like, not trying to, but accidentally making eye contact with people next to me.
Urinals face the wall, right? You don't have to turn to your right. It's actually a lot easier to look forward.
It's ADHD. I'm just like drawn to sound. Like, I'm just like.
Is your piss boring, Ben? Is it? You don't have the piss has low retention rate.
Interesting.
That's another thing, dude. Is like I felt bad that I said this publicly and privately. I feel really bad that I went really hard on this guy Chad Cat's community because his whole shtick is doing like ADHD versions of stuff, which is like recapping like I guess drama or whatever. But I just had this emotional reaction that like somebody took something I really like worked really really hard on and then reduced it to like 7 seconds. But like I just didn't understand the medium. I didn't understand like the shtick and like his audience. His audience was really cool and he was really cool. But I just like when people were commenting like it gets good 5 minutes in, it's like you guys have been brain rotted so hard And it's like the type of content that Jimmy makes. It's not just Jimmy, you know. It's most places I've even worked where it's just
Yeah.
like they gotta be high energy, like camera changes every fucking millisecond, you know, sound effects and noises just to make sure the kids keep watching. And it's like that. I really feel like it's having a negative effect on children, like genuinely, like these iPad kids
Oh yeah.
who have temper tantrums. Like, oh my god, it's like when like they let kids smoke cigarettes in the 20s, and then in the 30s they were like, oh no, that was bad. You know, it's like these YouTube videos are gonna be the thing that we look back on and go, oh no, that really fucked some kids up.
There's a lot of people whose first little bit of what they're hearing from MrBeast is, you know, all of this news about how he's kind of a dick.
Yeah,
So,
that's what happens.
It's great. It's great. I'm welcome. Welcome to the club.
I love I told you that I
listeners.
talked to 4 lawyers and he's like, all right, well if Jake's confident.
Yeah. You got it. 4 lawyers. That's a lot of lawyers. Do you have to pay for
Well, there
anyone?
was there are some people who were like, okay, I don't want to get into the nitty gritty of that. Just know, in varying degrees of capacity in which I was able to get some opinions. I have at least one lawyer who was like paid to give me opinions, and then there was a dog pack told me stuff his lawyer told him, and then some other YouTubers I was talking to, they have lawyers, and they gave me some of their opinions. So all in all, I have the brain trust of 4 legal professionals at my disposal.
That's all you need. You're sure to win.
I
Provided.
mean, because anybody could sue anybody, and I think the issue might be, and again, I'm just speculating here. If like stuff like this goes to court, like a discovery process means, all right, let's uncover all of the bad stuff, and I don't think anybody wants that, especially if there's bad stuff. So, as soon as there was a second
No.
cease and desist, I was like, oh, that's not how that works.
And there's a lot of bad stuff.
And I mean, dude, when I left, it's so crazy. I'm watching all this shit, like, also with popcorn going, oh, crazy. Like, the stuff I was able to speak to, like, I've pretty much gotten all of my shit out now. So now if new stuff comes out, I go, whoa! But, like, what was my train of thought going?
I send you everything I see on the internet.
That's so funny,
It's
yeah.
happening a lot. There's something popped up on the Raleigh subreddit, you know, a bunch of stuff found in a lake in Wake Forest, like that, you know, should have been cleaned up, and that was different from the other lake that they hadn't cleaned up in Tennessee or something like that.
Which was
Or
different
more
from
like
the mountain where they didn't clean up.
Gosh, what a time!
What a time.
A lot of great opportunities came from that. Going to see
I mean, I wouldn't
Area
have the career I
51.
currently have, obviously. Oh, yeah, Area 51, honestly, was one of the, like, the shoot itself wasn't that great, but hanging out in Vegas with my friends was a blast.
Yeah, lucky. They just sent me alone. I just went with the tour guide.
Yeah, you location scouted, and then they made me location scout after you.
Well, because I refused to climb a mountain in the desert.
Oh, that's right. That's okay. That's what it was. Oh, I'm the good boy who does what is told. Okay.
I was like, no, I'm not gonna like. They were like, the mountain's mostly shale. It's really difficult to climb. Like every
Yeah,
time,
well,
like,
you're
you
damn
take a
right it
step,
was.
You
You don't
fall
gotta
down
tell me,
a little
brother.
bit. It's in the middle of the Nevada desert in July. It's like, yeah, I'm not climbing the mountain. I'm sorry, I'm not doing it.
Ben, you're a braver man than I gotta tell you.
And they're like, fine. We tried to find it so I could take pictures of it. I was gonna take pictures of it from the bottom at the very least, right? And I was like, climb this mountain. Which it wouldn't
Here
have.
it is.
It wouldn't
That's
have
the
looked
mountain.
any different from any other hill.
Yeah,
Like,
you could have
wouldn't
Googled it,
been
brother.
you wouldn't have been able to tell. But me and the tour guide, God, what was his name? I forget what it was. He was a trip. He
Yeah,
on the
you were
way
telling
out
me about
there,
him. Yeah.
on the way out there, he told me, like, just so you know, this tour sucks. There's no information about Area 51. Everything that I could tell you is just speculation or like made up. Like, honestly, half the time I'm just improving just to entertain weirdos. Like,
That's so
he's
funny.
just he's been doing it for years. He just does these tours and just comes up with shit as it goes along.
You sent me a picture. He has like an old timey hippie vibe.
Oh yeah, he was very weird. He
I like to make
When he-
stuff up when people are weird.
when he picked me up, he was like, "How are you enjoying, Las Vegas?" And I was like, "It's really cool." And I had never been out west. I had never seen mountains like like this before. It was all really beautiful, and he's like, "Wow, you really didn't even try to look for a hooker, did you?" And I
Oh
was
my God, that's
like,
so funny.
"Yeah." I was like, "No."
That's so fun. What? No, of course, no. I would never. You know what's funny
Write
is
that down. Write it down.
maybe.
Just put it
Well,
put it somewhere.
it's funny. I don't know when this is gonna come out because I want to edit it a little bit, but this is exactly what the writing workshops are gonna be for on my Patreon. So. Ben, I
Mm,
know we talked a little bit before about you possibly jumping in on those at some point. Maybe not the one that I'm doing as of this recording this upcoming Sunday, but I do want to make those thing I do maybe twice a month. So if there is one that you can jump on, that would be lovely, lovely, lovely. And it's gonna go just like what just happened here, where we had an idea, we were shooting the shit. Oh wait, maybe there's a thing there, and then we will try to find the thing. Now this isn't the workshop.
mm.
This is a podcast, so I don't
Yeah.
want to get too into the weeds. But if you want to get a taste of what the workshop is like, that's essentially what it's gonna be. So.
Hell yeah, man. I'm definitely down to do it anytime. You invited me this Sunday. Unfortunately, I do have a show. I am lucky enough. I'm booked Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday,
Yeah, good
Wednesday.
comics
I
get
actually got
booked. Bad comics do workshops.
hell yeah. So
Hell
maybe
yeah,
one
brother.
day you do that workshop, you can get booked.
That's the goal, brother. That's funny. Well, I think the plug is a natural place to conclude this. We talked a little bit about stand up, did some beast tea, and then did a plug. So, uh, again, that was not my intention. I was just gonna shoot the shit with Ben and see what happens. And for legal reasons, everything here said was an opinion or true or believed to be true. And things that are illegal are not covered by NDA law. All right, are we good? Is that? I think we covered the bases.
I think so. I think I'm perfectly safe now. I feel safe.
Okay. Okay. Well, don't listen to me. I'm an idiot. You're not. You're never safe with me.
Oh, I know that.
All right. So check out my website for the upcoming show dates for this fall. Ben, do you have a website?
I don't have a website, but you can find my Instagram at Forever Malone. The second E in forever is missing. If you are looking for it, it's not there. So I hope you
I'll
find my
make sure
profile.
the links to your socials are in the description, as well as links to my website, my Patreon, and anywhere you can find show dates, where you can find the workshops. Some of the things coming to the Patreon soon are longer cuts of my shorts, like the one I just dropped, the MrBeast Accountant 2. There's like a 5 or 6 minute cut of that. I think the one on TikTok is 2. I'm also going to be trying, once I get ahead of some stuff, going to try to be releasing videos at least a day early over there. But right now, I'm just trying to get on a consistent schedule. Maybe some Patreon exclusives. Again, I got to make sure YouTube's popping first. But I want to make sure people who are on Patreon feel like they got something worthwhile. So I have a lot of active chats in there that are always popping, and the community in there is lovely. The 2 chats I have are the Comedy Workshop chat and a general chat called Not a Gross Discord. So that lets you
What
know
a
what the
what a
shit.
great name
Yeah,
for a Discord.
Not a gross Discord. That's what it is. And yeah, so the Ugly Duck workshops are every other week. They're on Patreon. Ben Malone's socials are going to be in the description. And I'm on YouTube and TikTok and all that jazz. So thank you guys for watching the first episode of this. There might be episodes where I'm flying solo like Bill Burr does. Maybe I'll have other guests who are YouTubers, comedians. Maybe they're just friends of mine who I want to shoot the shit with. I have a lot of friends who I love dearly. And, you don't have to be a rich and famous, successful person to get on a microphone, So look forward to that. Like and subscribe, all that jazz. I appreciate you.